When Al told you to make sure you don't go anywhere, he meant that.
Yeah.
Because we are here with Anthony Davis joining us right now at Lakers Media Day. AD, thanks for checking in.
Thanks for having me.
AD, I'm curious, as you come into this season, you got a squad as good as any roster out there. And just from your experience being in the league as long as you have, what does this team look like to you? You got vets, you got champions, it seems like you have everything. How would you describe the roster?
You said it. We have vets, we have champions, we have guys who has the urge to be champions. And we won't fully know until, we start camp tomorrow and go through some preseason games, but we look good on paper. The front office did a great job of assembling this team, and, we're all excited. Everyone's excited and motivated, mainly by the age thing. Everyone's saying we're old and, things like that. So we're motivated to prove everyone wrong, but we're also motivated by our own internal goals, and that's making sure that we come together as a collective to win a championship.
You mentioned the age thing, and that you guys added a lot of veteran players during the offseason. Obviously, you and LeBron have been in the league for a long time as well. Does it factor into the way that you guys approach the regular season? It's a long regular season, and making sure that at the end of the line you're as fresh as at the beginning of the line.
Yeah, and no.
What's the no part?
Because we all want to play, and we know that it's going to take time for us to, truly find our identity and develop as a team. But I'm pretty sure our coaching staff, Frank, has done a great job of making sure that guys are fresh. And it might not more so be games. It might just be the practices. So practice might be cut short, where it's only an hour instead of 2 hours, where we can still get our work in but be fresh for games where we, able to perform at a high level and having more off days for recovery. And, camp might be shorter. So things like that, finding ways to, we still can perform well, but making sure that we get that rest.
How important is it that you and your teammates are honest with the coaching staff, the training staff, like, hey, you know what, I need a day today, or I need to practice, I need to cut it short a little bit, to that communication that's open?
Yeah, I think we're going to be having a lot of those days because we are old. But, that's very huge that we have an open door policy with any player, where we can come in and say, Coach, body feeling a little weird today, and the coach might say, let's sit out of practice then, be ready for the game. So he's done a great job of making sure that we're able to talk to him, or if the players can talk to me and Bron, and we can, tell coach and express him, let's cut practice short a little bit, or let's take this out of practice, no contact practice and things like that, where guys can feel comfortable going into games.
Lakers Media Day, Anthony Davis joining the Travis and Sliwa show. AD, I think about last season. I'm curious. It was less than a year ago you guys won an NBA championship. You come back on the short off season. Obviously, things didn't go in the playoffs primarily because of health, and that's what it seemed like was the difference. Chip on your shoulder this year is a chip on a guy like LeBron, and I say that only because we know how good this roster is. We know what your guys' expectations and goals are. Do you walk into this season a little different than you've done in the past?
Yes, absolutely. And mainly because a lot of people are counting us out. I have a chip to come back, just from the health standpoint. Bron does as well. We didn't perform at our best last year because of health reasons. And, Russ wants to win. Melo wants to win. Dwight wants to win again. DJ wants to win. Malik, young guy, wants to, like, all these guys have a chip on their shoulder that they have something to prove. And we actually been dealing with that since I've been here. Every year it's been, okay, chip on our shoulder to prove, something to prove. And we all have that chip, and we have that edge to make sure that we come out and do the things necessary to win a championship.
Anthony Davis joining us here from Lakers Media Day with the idea of injuries. And you look at you guys are all in amazing shape. You guys all put in the time. Is it just bad luck? Is it just one of those things that happens to one guy instead of another guy? Is that all it is?
Yeah, and it was around the league, the entire league last year. But I think it was that short off season where guys didn't get to train their bodies like they usually do in the summer to prepare for a season. It's usually a 12, 16-week process where we had 3 weeks, 4 weeks to try to get everything, right, especially us, the Lakers, coming off a championship, trying to celebrate, we won.
I don't know if you know this or not. Yeah. You guys won the title less than a year ago.
Yeah,
less than a year ago. It's extraordinary.
And we didn't have 3 seasons. So, you think about that, like we're trying to, figure out how we can, still manage our bodies and work out while still celebrating a championship. And It was just a lot of bad luck. It was honestly the team that had the most health was going to win, and that's what happened.
AD, I know I don't need to tell you this, but Laker Nation's looking forward to the season, and obviously we're looking forward to watching you this upcoming year.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Appreciate your time. Thanks, Anthony.